Ethan Klein accuses iDubbbz of Holocaust denial over his opinion on Sabra hummus. Jesus Christ.
And distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left with? They're left with a common...
He's also doing, like, once again, like almost a form of Holocaust denialism, which is...
Oh, they pre-watched and had a whole script.
It's basically like diaspora apologia, basically saying that hummus is not Jewish food.
Oh.
He says there's no Arab distributors. Of
I don't
course
think
it's
that's
bad.
Holocaust denial.
No, but no, I'm correcting myself.
God, dude, he is... I guess there's an audience for anything, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, I guess there's an audience for people who are like, I really want to hear the stupidest person talk about shit that they have no understanding over, but do it in a way where it's like convincing. Do it in a way where it's confident.
Because I think it's close. When you deny, like,
my favorite is when he compared himself to fucking Rosa Parks. Does anyone have that clip? That I think was peak from the first day. When he was watching the Content Cop, and he was like, iDubbbz not coming to my defense as I've been fucking vomiting out pro-Israel talking points and attacking every pro-Palestinian voice out there. Not coming to my defense is basically like you being a white student refusing to defend black students during the civil rights movement. Oh wait, that was in the Content Cop. Never mind. That wasn't even. Oh, you're right. Another banger comparing Sam Cedar to Candace Owens.
This is literally me telling a black person, like, you need to go talk to Candace Owens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she knows.
What?
She knows everything about the race and what it's like to be black.
Sam Cedar is not a Candace Owens, though.
No,
let me stick
Sam
up for
Cedar
my
didn't
boy
do
a little
anything
bit.
wrong.
No, of course not.
I'm saying, like,
I get the example you're making, but I just want to make that.
Okay, fair. Good point, because I'm not saying Sam is like them. But you wouldn't send...
How about Jesse Jackson? Go talk to Jesse Jackson about this.
I don't know anything about his politics, but you'd be like,
whatever.
Go. My point is just because you say that this person is got.
Wait, that he doesn't know who Jesse Jackson is, which is why he doesn't understand what Dan said. It is a comparative. It is a good analog, which undermines the point that he's trying to make. Yes, if I was a white guy and I had a black friend and I was trying to talk to him about some issue or whatever, and he just would not. He just refused to hear me out. And I was like, hey, man, you should talk to our mutual friend who you respect, who has a similar background to yourself. Yeah. Who isn't like a fucking reactionary charlatan. Yeah, that would be a totally decent thing to do. I mean, if I was a white guy, I am a white guy, but I meant like if in a situation...
Nothing. It's like me saying, hey, you're trans, go talk to Blair White. She'll tell you everything.
No, that doesn't work. No. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, that does not work at all. Dan is not taking your side.
You need to know.
It's not like Ethan is not capable of talking to Hasan.
Isn't he? Because I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Yeah, Ethan literally said I'm not Jewish and kept saying, like, how can you tell a Jewish person how to feel about this? And I'm like, this is not about Judaism. If you can't separate Israel from Judaism, we can't even have this conversation. So if you don't trust me, if you can't hear my position on this and you don't respect me, Muslim or not, what is this? He didn't come up with that himself, by the way.
And two, you wouldn't counter that by saying, well, you're saying that... So, Ethan, you claimed that Hasan is misrepresenting the positions of all Jews. Well, why don't you talk to Candace Owens about what black people think? Or, I'm sorry, why don't you talk to Sam Cedar about what Jewish people think? Like, how does that further your argument? Hello?
Bro, he loves Destiny so much. He really does. He says you still haven't watched the content nuke, so we won't talk to you. When you said you watched it, he didn't believe you. Well, I haven't watched it fully, but I'll watch it with him. He basically says the same thing.
Are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews. They cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single person represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret.
What?
He reacts to the compilation of you saying you can't tell him how to feel because he's Jewish here.
Other Jewish people, you need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that like
agree with me on everything. You know, it doesn't matter if they're Jewish, dude. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish. Again, I don't know what he's trying to say. Jewishness is irrelevant to Ethan, which is like
Because
a totally
it's leading up to the next thing. It's really dumb. Because then in the next one is like Jewishness is so relevant.
Okay.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews at large
fair.
view it. I don't think that is the.
What in what position are you to even say that?
It's not motivated by myself. It's motivated by Jews against anti-Zionist
No,
Jews.
seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what.
So
That doesn't mean.
I'm actually addressing the same point twice, and he's too fucking dumb to realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is dumb, not Ethan. Yeah. Why? Why does he still try to do fucking political stuff, man? It's not good for your mental health. You're clearly oblivious. Like, who is fucking guiding you to do this? Who is gearing you up to be like, yes, King, you're fucking killing it. Everybody thinks you're awesome and very knowledgeable. He goes on to compare it to suggesting you talk to a pro-Israel Arab, or of which there are many, his words, not like anti-Zionist Jews, which are a fringe 1% minority, again, his words, kind of like a self-report there. I've also mentioned this before, like I've addressed this before. Even if 100% of Jews across the board were like, no, Israel represents Judaism, I still wouldn't give a shit. It's just so stupid. It's such a stupid argument. The notion that like a state says, we represent religion. It's like ISIS saying, fucking, they represent Islam. It's the same shit. America doesn't represent Christianity. Israel doesn't represent Judaism. ISIS does not represent Islam. Neither does Saudi Arabia. It's so fucking stupid. The truth is still the truth, regardless of what people feel about it. There's a reason why all of the people that Ethan wants me to talk to on the Arab front are fucking reactionary psychopaths versus someone like Sam Cedar, who he seemingly respects. When I say, hey, you should probably talk to Sam Cedar privately or publicly, it doesn't matter. But like, I want you to have a conversation that might like change your perspective a little bit with a person who has an experience not dissimilar to yours, a person who you respect. That's still with the assumption that deep down inside, there is an empathetic person who can recognize that they might have been led astray. That's the problem. He breaks his own brain here, masterful plays.
Thanking me for even putting your dumbass on my fucking podcast when the whole world hated you and I didn't mind sticking my neck out for you. Oh, is that transactional? No, I expect some fucking,
Wait, shut up. Did he catch himself in the middle of the fucking describing a transactional relationship?
Dumbass on my fucking podcast when the whole world hated you and I didn't mind sticking my neck out for you. Oh, is that transactional? No, I expect some fucking, can you not have any expectations for your friends? Like, is that crazy?
Why spend so much time on him at this point? Ethan ain't going to change. He's lost cause. He's been charitable for over a year. And if he ain't going to change himself, it's not on you. Let him rot in the bed he made and move on. I mean, there are going to be instances where I react to shit that he's saying. One, if it's specifically about doing Hasbara, and two, when he's trying to deplatform leftists, and three, when he is directly lying about me. When are you asked to talk to him privately? Because his descent into madness is pretty obvious at this point, don't you think? Like, this is a relatively sizable content creator with a previously progressive audience that has turned over into a fucking pro-Israel propaganda monster at this point. It's not his own words that made his audience feel like he was at odds with them ideologically on the issue of Israel. It's actually someone else that must have geared them to feel this way. And that someone else was his former podcast co-host, which seemingly fits that like previous hate spiral that he went over anyway with his other former podcast co-host. So it's like a perfect situation where he's like, everything wrong in my life is directly because of this one guy. There was another thing. I think like Gila did more Hasbara as well, saying like babies were put in ovens on October 7 or something. Like when people push back on it, go, that's not what happened. He will turn around and sometimes he'll acknowledge like slight mistakes. Yeah, here, this is what I was thinking of exactly.
To kill as many people they can, no matter who it is, slaughter as many people as they could until they were. Stop.
The mission was explicitly.
In their reaction to the iDubbbz video, Klein says Hamas flamed cribs with babies in them on fire, as Ethan Klein agrees. This did not happen. 0 babies were burned alive on October 7. Ethan and Hila are such fanatical, deranged, genocidal Zionists that they're still doing the 40 beheaded and burned babies in an oven's hole.
To kill civilians.
Yeah.
You can see their war plans. They went specifically to Kibbutzim to kill the inhabitants there.
Yeah, as opposed to Israel, which accidentally bombed the entirety of the Gaza Strip.
Those are not military
They
compounds.
flamed cribs with babies in them on fire. So like,
come on, what do we?
That didn't happen. If people like this were so assured of their moral clarity of their political positions, they wouldn't feel the need to make up whole cloth something like the bad guys burned babies alive in their cribs. Yeah, I say and constantly try to deplatform people who are critical of Israel. Also, you know who fucking lights babies' cribs on fire? Israel. What do you think happens to a baby's crib when Israel brings the entire building down? Explodes an entire fucking building. Like, what are we talking about, dude? You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about babies being burned on fire. You just care about defending Israel. That's it. Did you see the button they forgot to delete? Hosmer related?
Healthcare to
Extra footage available on Spotify before Eaton hit the button while watching the content cop reveals Olivia also spoke up, only be silenced alongside AB and Ethan and Hila deny the apartheid in
Gaza.
Israel.
Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is,
we
did
never
you think
defended
that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th. Not even once. We never
I think that's
co-signed what they did.
No, you guys do consistently defend the intensity of it, or routinely say that Israel doesn't target civilians, things like that. And when they do, they actually do it by mistake or because it's still Hamas's fault, because Hamas is doing human shields. I mean, it's not particularly complex. Like, it's just it's very basic stuff. It's just constantly making it seem as though it's actually Hamas that is the primary responsible party for the genocide of the Palestinians and not the fucking belligerent occupying apartheid state that is doing the genocide. That's it. It's ridiculous.
Is that not the point he's making, though?
What?
That you're talking about how nice Israel is, but
Israel proper is different from Gaza.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Millions
right now, say
Muslims in Israel.
I guess that's where the.
Yeah, this is so AB and yeah, they buttoned here, and it, I guess, for Spotify caught more of it or something. Is that what it is? There's also a lot of inequities for the Palestinian citizens of Israel in general, but that's not even what we're talking about. My take on this basically was this is some zone of interest shit, you know? Like, you don't understand. Israel proper is beautiful. My lived experience in Israel. This is what I saw. Yeah, I said, bro, really said my lived experience in Israel proper.
Wrong.
Essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that
Wait, so
Ethan...
is Ian going to explain that point or why you're
No,
wrong?
it's no. He says I'm doing Israeli propaganda, and you just shared me sharing an opinion about the phrase "from the river to the sea."
He brought your tweet up and called the move the danger zone. The danger zone? Dog, you're doing Nazi propaganda for a Nazi state. That is not the danger zone. Get out of your own fucking head, okay? Oh no. What are you going to do? Cry more? What are you going to do? Actively call to deplatform me again? No, he didn't know the movie title. Oh, he thought it was... Shut up. Shut up.
Crazy. That's crazy.
has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it.
You claimed you and Ian used Zionism as a cover to be anti-Semitic. Dude, this is literally like when people will be like, oh, you are secretly transphobic or some shit. It's like, dog, do you know how beneficial it is for a grifter's career to be transphobic? Right now, anti-Semitism is hot. Anti-Semitism is literally hotter than anti-Zionism, okay? If you think Israel is unfashionable, holy fuck, dude. The reality of the matter is I fight actively against anti-Semitism because I'm terrified of the prospect of the only game in town against Israel being anti-Semites. It's so fucked up. Him not understanding your tweet.
Hasan, this morning, I also want to give a shout out called me a Auschwitz Nazi guard. He's clearly on his good faith bent here. I, in this clip, talk about how I'm talking about my lived experience in Israel proper. Everybody knows that the use of the word proper is the correct usage to refer to the borders, the established borders of Israel. And I explicitly am talking about my experience.
You know what's really funny is that the person who made this Oscar-winning movie, he said the same shit. So this take here is not necessarily unique. The entire point of the movie is about the banality of the day-to-day existence in the backdrop of the Holocaust taking place.
Living in Tel Aviv, which I say explicitly in this clip.
Also, Rudolf Hess goes back to, Berlin. Where did he go? He went back to Berlin, right? By the end of the movie. Don't worry. He shows his experience in Germany proper as well. If you don't consider Auschwitz to be a part of the original German lands.
And Hasan says, bro, really said my lived experience in Israel proper. And once again, I want to emphasize that is actually totally unproblematic and the correct way. Unless his point is that there's no such thing as Israel proper.
I do think that's his point.
So then we're talking about something completely else. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is a still from a movie called The Danger Zone.
Zone of Interest.
The Zone of Interest about a Nazi family who's in charge of Auschwitz, living outside the concentration camp and raising their family casually there, which, as you know, is what I did living in Tel Aviv. And by the way, Hasan, let's not forget that we were friends. You didn't know that I was living in Tel Aviv, AKA outside a concentration camp?
I just
Frogan,
realized.
all you guys, Denims, who used to be huge fans of the show.
Well, first of all, I don't know what his experiences in Israel were. I didn't even know he was technically an Israeli citizen until like literally a couple months ago when people were yelling at me. So that's number one. I didn't watch his old vlogs where he was apparently saying fucking heinous shit about Israel. Ironically enough, many people who are former fans of his knew all about his original takes on fucking Israel, okay?
You're going to call me a Nazi fucking
Hasan's
concentration guard for
tweet.
living in Tel Aviv?
I hope you get PTSD.
I sure wasn't hiding it, but okay. I see you're being good faith here today, Hasan.
Dude, does this man think that like I have smoke for anyone who has ever spent time inside of Israel? Does he not understand that I have fans who live in Israel right now? Like I have Jewish fans who live in Israel right at this moment. I interview people who are in the fucking Israeli Knesset. I talk to journalists. I actively, I have no issue with people living in Israel. I live in America. The entire difference here is it would be, first of all, if Ethan was smart enough, he would constantly hammer on the point. Ironically, he's too stupid to make this point. He'd be like, we live in America. What the fuck are you talking about? We live in a settler colony that did a genocide and completed it, okay? I understand that reality. I live within that reality. I also understand how that fundamental principle, the fundamental truth about American inception plays a formative role in the American consciousness, which is why when I talk to people in the Western world, people living in the heart of empire, I try to get them to comprehend the wrongdoings of the past. Is not to like badger them over the head with it. Of course, it would be insanely hypocritical for me to be like, oh, dude, you fucking were born in Israel and have only known Israel. Well, fuck you. You're a fucking piece of shit. That's not my take. I understand that there are people, even in Israel, a country that is incredibly fascist, that are still trying to do their very best to fight against the fascist genocide being perpetrated. My problem with Ethan is not that he lived in Israel. My problem with Ethan is that he keeps fucking defending Israel with this mealy-mouthed, liberal Zionist, squishy bullshit while simultaneously claiming to be a pro-Palestinian fucking advocate. If he had not said anything about Israel and did not constantly fucking yell at its detractors, I wouldn't give a shit. I would never talk about him. He can fucking chirp about any number of different goddamn things. The point is, You're trying to defend the multifaceted, multicultural nature of Israel in the backdrop of a fucking Holocaust, dude. The modern day Holocaust. Get the fuck out of here. He tried to make that point here.
Actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go.
Ethan said when he's done talking to Sam, he needs you to talk to Mossad, the son of Hamas. I like that he wants me to talk to a literal Mossad operative, by the way. Like, he's going to talk to someone who he's ostensibly on the same side of, someone he respects, someone that he likes. So for that, you know, me demanding that he do that, I have to talk to a fucking literal Mossad agent. An animal, dude. A bloodthirsty animal. Yeah, what a great trade. Sure, I'll do it. I'll fucking debate his bitch ass. If he talks to Sam Cedar publicly and atones for all of the fucking ridiculous propaganda that he's done, yeah, I'll talk to him. He said he wants to debate Anissa. Oh, God, he's such a fucking... I don't know what Anissa's level of interest is in this, but I'm sorry. I've been fucking asking for him to talk to me about this for how many months now? He is so fucking scared, dude. He is so goddamn scared of anyone that he perceives, falsely or correctly, that he couldn't fucking dominate. And I think Anissa would dominate him, for the record. But he probably thinks in his mind he could actually, look better in that conversation. No talking to someone who would be endlessly charitable to him, like Sam. No talking to any number of different people that he's slandered over the years. Yeah, fucking talk to Matt Lieb. Talk to Bad Empanada. Destroy Bad Empanada in the marketplace of ideas. Why won't you do that? He's called out your wife, dude, right? He's done horrible things. You should talk to Bad Empanada and fucking destroy him. You can do it, big man. Remember how you defeated Just Girly Things or Just Pearly Things or whatever the fuck?
Oh, like, sure. It sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that...
What is he saying here?
He's saying that American imperialism and colonizing the entire manifest destiny body mass of U.S. is cool. It's fine because enough time has passed. And he doesn't actually have to interface with any hard decisions like, am I living on where a tribe used to live, and should I just give them all my properties and money? Mm-hmm. So, again, it's like this whole argument of colonialism is just so fucking rich.
You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go. Like, sure. It sounds like America to me.
Like you took like 3 words that I said from a larger conversation and like just left it at that.
That wasn't even what he was saying. He was saying that Jews are safe in the United States of America, evidenced by Ethan living a wonderful and very comfortable life in the United States of America. And he has every right to live a comfortable life in the United States of America as a Jewish American, or anywhere he wants to, really. So what happened? Did he watch like Destiny's reaction to the fucking content cop and then tried to do a shitty version of it? He sounds like Destiny's orbiters. They're coming here and try to argue and use the similar the similar talking points and the same speech patterns.
It's bananas. It's disgusting. It's disgusting is what it is. It's pathetic.
Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is
okay. If Israel doesn't represent all Jews, and they've never said that they represent all Jews, then, great. I can shit on Israel all day, every day. And you can't fucking call me anti-Semitic, I guess, for that reason. Except you want to have your cake and eat it too, When it doesn't suit the purpose, you're like, oh, Israel never actually said that. They just accidentally arrived at the Star of David on the flag and also rewrite the Constitution and also, actively say it all the time, as a matter of fact. Like every fucking, not every, but virtually every goddamn member of the Knesset has said it in one way, shape, or form. XUZ essentially called you anti-Semitic? Yeah, well, he's fucking brain dead, dude. What are you talking about? He's a goddamn vegetable. Oh, man, I can't believe that.
is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is saying. Like, he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think
you have no idea what you're talking about.
Have you explained anything in this video?
You're
like,
so wrong.
I doubt you even understand half the things
you have no fucking
us.
idea what you're talking about. You shouldn't even be entering this conversation as a leftist. You should be listening and learning, sir. Sit down.
Yeah, dude. Fucking bodies in spaces. One of the grossest fucking freakazoid ways of behaving is like the tendency that right-wingers, okay, across the board try to do a bodies in spaces argument whenever they're fucking talking about whatever kind of reactionary nonsense that they want to defend. Every time I hear a goddamn fucking white Christian man be like, excuse me, my rights are being tarnished here. Oh, I can't believe it. My rights. You're attacking my rights. Yeah. Okay, get the fuck out of here, dude. This is one of the funniest things. Like, I am unconditionally against reactionary politics. Israel is a reactionary country, and its politics are incredibly reactionary. They're fascist. You can't fucking standpoint theory your way into defending a fascist country. Like, just as you can't standpoint theory your way into talking about how Christian rights are being taken away when gay people are kissing on the streets or whatever, you can't just be like, oh, I'm oppressed. Why won't you hear from me? Why won't you hear from my personal perspective? That's why this should have been wrapped up literally 2 weeks after October 7th when we had that fucking discussion on my channel where I was like, dude, what you're saying right now is like a white guy saying all lives matter to a black dude saying black lives matter. That's it. Don't you care about this? I thought you were on board with the Black Lives Matter movement. I thought you were progressive. And I think there's only two ways you can go about it. Either you start recognizing that perhaps this is the case, perhaps that like defending Israel from the perspective of like the interests of like what you perceive is wrong towards Jewish people. Like, you have to hear a Jewish American person's perspective on how they feel when a person who is pro-Palestine says from the river to the sea, Palestine would be free. Oh, that scares me. My feelings are more important than your emancipatory slogans. Like, is no different than when a fucking white fascist Republican guy turns around and says, oh, when you say Black Lives Matter, that scares me because I feel like you're saying you want to kill all white people. It's literally 1-to-1. You want to know why it's 1-to-1? Because these are both reactionary, fascist adjacent, or directly fascist positions. That's it. The only difference in this regard is that in the Western world, understandably, Jews have been marginalized historically, and anti-Semitism is still very much a problem. So, of course, when someone uses standpoint theory from the perspective of being a Jewish person, it gets a little bit more mileage in progressive circles than a white guy being like, well, it feels like we're attacking Christians and Christianity, or we're attacking white people. Okay, there's no way he can't get this comparison. Well, he certainly didn't get it because I had this conversation with him on November, in the beginning of the month of November, or a couple weeks after October 7th. This is the last conversation that I had with him where I gave this exact fucking argument to him. Anyway, you explained it over and over to him, and he said you can't speak for Jewish people. Exactly. It's ridiculous. So, you know, it is what it is. I just don't think he's ever going to fucking learn. I think Ian was so nice, like far too nice, thinking that this was salvageable, you know, thinking that maybe if Ethan watched this video, he would snap back to reality. Nope, not even a little bit. What is this? It seems like Ethan.
Anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide.
Oh, wow.
Part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well
And sir, do you happen to know of any violence perhaps coming towards Israel, where Ela grew up? Perhaps from Lebanon, Hezbollah, perhaps? Does that...
This is, dude, you don't have oh God. You do not have the intellectual faculties to be able to have a coherent conversation on this because you don't know the history, despite the fact that many of your critics have time and time again tried to describe to you that Hezbollah was a militant force that was born out of Israel's unjustifiable occupation of Lebanon. That's number one. And number two, Hezbollah has only grown in popularity as a direct consequence of Israel's further incursion into Lebanon time and time again. And they have successfully purged Israel from its borders in the past. And last but not least, the only reason why a dumb fuck asshole can do this annoying, idiotic fucking propaganda that they are too stupid to even recognize is fucking propaganda is because of Western chauvinism, where other dumb fuck people think, well, this actually corresponds to my previous biases, so I'm just going to go along with what he's saying here. He must know what he's talking about. It's just ahistorical garbage. It's ridiculous. There is no way that he has not accidentally encountered the truth about what he is saying here, because he's talked about this time and time again. Bad Empanada covered it in the fucking response to the context nuke. Many other people have brought this up. This and a number of different idiotic things.
That ring a bell to you, you dumb, ignorant fuck? How dare you attempt to lecture me on this conflict? You just learned about this like...
Okay, I don't know when Ian learned about this conflict, but you still haven't learned anything about this conflict. What do you mean, how dare you attempt to lecture me? Okay, talk to someone who does know about this conflict a lot more than you, okay? For a lot longer than you have known about anything, really, because you still fucking haven't learned anything. You employ Lebanese people. Why don't you talk to them?
Like 2 weeks ago, clearly, and you're just deferring to Hasan as an expert.
If Ethan is an expert on the subject matter and he denies my knowledge on this issue, then let's talk it out. Let's fucking talk it out. Except Ethan, you're too big of a fucking coward to have that conversation because you're fucking worried. You're worried that your intellectual bankruptcy will be in full fucking display if you were to ever sit down man to man and have a conversation instead of crying behind Instagram stories that go away after 24 fucking hours. No pushback whatsoever for me. I need to stay in my fucking hug box. That's it. Yeah, wake up, Ethan. Wake the fuck up. I'm here. If I'm so oblivious to the things I speak of, then you should make such light work of me as you did with the likes of Ollie London, the intellectual giants of the right, the Ollie Londons of the world, and the fucking just girly things of the world. You know, you destroyed them. Remember? He will agree with you that it's genocide and Israel does all these horrible things and piss off his wife. That's what he's scared of. No, I don't think that he's going to fucking admit that. I don't even think it's about pissing off his wife. I think it's about retaining some kind of weird sense that he's right all along. He says Sam Cedar never wanted to have this conversation, was dragged into this. That's also a lie. I talked to Sam many months ago, and he was totally open to talking to Ethan about this. Like back when I thought he wasn't a fucking monster with respect to defending Israel over and over again and doing Hasbara over and over again. The saddest part about it is that it's just ego. It's just narcissism for him. It's not even about fucking defending Israel. I don't even think it's about like defending his wife or anything. I think it's just straightforwardly his ego. It is so fucking bruised because his audience did not find him to be the beacon of intellectualism that he presented himself as after a sequence of successful debates dunking on the absolute dumbest right-wingers of all time, finding himself to be this intellectual giant, and then all of a sudden being at odds with someone like myself who arguably is not very intelligent. I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm definitely more knowledgeable on this issue and many other issues directly related to politics than Ethan is. And it's just like he couldn't handle it. It's not even about fucking Israel, in my opinion. I think it's just like more narcissistic than that, which is so crazy. And in the process, he has become the person that he used to dunk on with regular frequency. Like he literally became the person that would normally be in the crosshairs of someone like him. It's wild, dude.
It's mind-bendingly dumb. Bro, please call in and debate me on Israel-Palestine. Let's see who knows more about the conflict, you dumb fuck.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
Holy shit, dude.
Failure with the propaganda and the
dude, wait, I don't get it. Why won't he debate me then? I don't understand. He wants Ian to debate him? It cuts off before he says, actually, never mind. Why? Why actually never mind? Dude, he can't even debate Ian? I thought Ian was so stupid. He didn't know anything.